I'm going to talk about a very specific wrist fracture. It's called a scaphoid fracture. My name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist, and there's only a small percentage of people in the world who's going to need this video. That might be you. Then you'll want to keep watching. Scaphoid fractures are very specific to the scaphoid. So it's very specific to, here is the thumb, right? And there's one little wrist bone, and then there's another one right there at the base. That's your scaphoid. Now, usually when you fall on an outstretched hand, the bone that is the weakest is the one that's going to break. So majority of the time, it's going to be in older women. If they fall, they're going to put their hand out. The weakest bone is actually the distal radius. So the distal radius will fracture in the instead of the scaphoid. Scaphoid fractures tend to happen in younger males, and it's usually due to a very high velocity fall, meaning they're doing something really fast and they fall on their hand outstretched like this, and it's going to break that fracture. Tends to happen in males, it can happen in females, but it tends to happen to people who are younger than to people who are older, right? I mean, it can happen to people who are older, but it just, like, the average tends to happen to younger. And funny enough, it tends to happen to a lot of people who play soccer, right? And it's because most of the time soccer players are running, and when they fall onto an outstretched hand, and that's one of the most common hand injuries in soccer players is a scaphoid fracture. Now, a scaphoid fracture, because it's right there, it's funny, it's kind of shaped like a kidney bean, and they talk about certain parts of the scaphoid, depending on where it's broken, has a tendency to not heal very well. So let me share with you some tips about if you fall on the hand and you think it could be a scaphoid. Your thumb tends to hurt. Like if you go and do something and your thumb hurts, you might have a scaphoid fracture. I actually had a friend, she's a physical therapist, and she fell and she hurt her wrist. So she went immediately to urgent care, got x-rays, and they were like, oh, you're not broken. And so they put her in a wrist support splint. However, by the time I saw her, we were just hanging out, business friend, started hanging out, and she was like, you know, I wear the splint, but every single time I go and grab something, it hurts. I was like, hold on, wait a second. When did you have that x-ray? Here's the thing about scaphoid fractures is that it takes a few days before that fracture will show up. So if you fall and you go immediately to the doctor and they take x-rays of it, you might not see that you have a scaphoid fracture. Scaphoid fractures will show itself after about 3 or 4 days. So you're gonna have to wait a few days, go back and x-ray it. Now, if they suspect that you fell, and you know, we can find, like, you can touch it, and if it hurts in a very particular spot, bone pain hurts unlike a muscle pain. There's a sharpness to it that is just feels really different, right? So it's at the base, and when you touch it, when you find, therapists have a hard time finding it. So, you know, it's going to be hard for you as a everyday person to really be able to find exactly where that scaphoid is, touch it and be like, I have a fracture. Just go to a professional. If you suspect that you have a scaphoid fracture, go to your hand therapist, a certified hand therapist, and they can help guide you. Because if your thumb hurts a lot when you're gripping, it might be a scaphoid fracture versus like if you're moving your wrist up and down and you have pain here. When you break this bone, you can have what they call an apex, right? When it's broken, it's going to create like a mountain. It's just going to look different. Like, hey, I'm not supposed to have that bump over there. That's just what it looks like. But scaphoid fracture is very specific, and it sits right over the thumb. So if you suspect that you have a scaphoid fracture, then you want to wear a splint that's going to stop your thumb from moving. So because your thumb sits on top of your wrist, it's got to stop your thumb from moving and stop your wrist from moving. And that is called a thumb spica splint. As much as I'm providing this kind of video to help guide you and educate you, this is an educational video. I have had patients try to do everything on their own and made their hand injuries worse. I had somebody who had a simple hand sprain, thumb sprain, concoct a wrist splint all on her own and blocked joints that were supposed to move, that she blocked from moving, and then developed major hand and wrist pain. So I don't necessarily recommend for you to just do everything on your own. I really highly recommend finding a hand surgeon that you trust, finding a certified hand therapist, occupational therapist that has experience with hand and arm injuries, because they can help guide you. They spend a lot of years and time studying so that they can be ready for you when you have an injury. So this is, again, just an educational video. Don't try to do this on your own. I have seen people create more of a mess trying to fix everything on their own versus getting professional help. If you suspect it, though, at least you have the education and the knowledge to be like, hey, could this be a scaphoid fracture? I want to know more about what's going on with me, right? So if you suspect that, if you fall, it does take a few days in order to be able to see that fracture of your scaphoid. And then if you do suspect, hey, it's fractured, or I hurt it somehow, right? Maybe it's not broken, but you hurt it somehow. The correct splint to wear is a thumb spica, meaning it's just going to block your thumb. It's going to let that rest. It's going to let the wrist rest. It's going to let the thumb rest. Please allow the tip to move, right? Should allow the tip to move. Nothing's wrong with this part. Let it move. Nothing is wrong with this part. Let this move, okay? Splints aren't forever. They're only meant for a small, short period of time, hopefully, right? And then usually between 4 and 6 weeks. If you do have a scaphoid fracture, if you have identified that you have a scaphoid fracture, usually fractures of the scaphoid take longer to heal. The way the blood flows to that bone is against gravity, so it just takes a lot longer to heal. So if you're injured, just know that it takes 6 weeks before you're allowed to start doing stuff. So it takes a little bit longer than fractures anywhere else on your body. So if you've had other injuries, you're like, well, why is this taking so long? It's because of the bone you broke. So it takes a little bit longer, so usually about 6 weeks. And if you find that it is fractured, yes, it takes about 6 weeks before they let you do anything. Sometimes it's 8 weeks. And so it does take a while. So just try not to break that bone. I've had some really great successes from people who play soccer, everyday people who might have fallen and fractured that. You just have to follow a very particular timeline. There's a certain particular time frame in which you want to start moving it, and usually it is 6 weeks to 8 weeks, depending on how severe that is. If you've had surgery to it, the surgeon, based on where the location of the fracture is, may allow you to move earlier. You just want to be nice and gentle with moving it. You don't need to be aggressive with moving it. And your therapist can help guide you based on how severe and based on where your scaphoid fracture is fractured and if you had surgery. Let me know if that makes sense. When it comes to scaphoid fracture, you can really have some great results. I've had some really great results with people who have had, restored full motion, no pain. And then I've had severe cases where they've had multiple surgeries, because here's the thing with scaphoids, if you don't take care of them correctly, sometimes at the beginning, you might develop what's called post-traumatic arthritis, and then that requires like multiple surgeries. It can get missed, and it's very easy to miss, and so this is one of the reasons why it can develop into other problems. Scaphoid, it's not easy, so this is one of the reasons why I keep saying that. I'm sorry, but it is a very, can be a difficult case. So have some patience for yourself, seek professional help in order to be able to get the best possible results, and just know that you can get really great results if you have injured your scaphoid. My friend that had it, I switched her out from the splint that they had given her at the urgent care, and I got her into a thumb spica, told her exactly what to do, and she didn't have any problem, so it's possible for you. Just look for someone who can help you. My name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist. I'm making these videos just to help anyone who has these types of problems. If you have any questions, your questions you can leave below. Your questions allow me to create more videos just like this to educate the everyday person so that you know what's possible for you. So I can't give personalized medical advice, but I can answer your questions in other videos. So feel free to leave them below. And if you need my help or my team's help, we're located at Hands On Therapy Services in Miami, Florida. All right, links all below. If you need me, call. Thanks.